Welcome to the first warning.
Yes.
Warning. This episode is super fucking long. And
yes,
we're happy about that because the dude was awesome. We're hanging out with Katie Stafford, known for Ghosts of Devil's Perch, also the Ghosts of Morgan City, founder
on the Travel Channel.
Yeah. Founder of Paranormal INK Equipment, Ink Box coming soon to Bacon's My Podcast. That'll be pretty fucking dope.
To use on our paranormal excursion that is also coming soon.
Indeed. But we just want to let you guys know that this is like a 3-hour episode.
Yeah, if you know the show and you are a fan of the show, then you know that we tend to talk to people about things other than what they are known for.
Right.
We like to get in and figure out their personalities, what they like, what they dislike. What's your bacon is that whole thing of what is that extra thing in your life.
Exactly.
So we definitely do that with him, but we do it for a really long time.
We legit, somehow opened up the show with about an hour and 15 minutes of comic book talk.
Right.
And if you're into that,
cool.
Awesome. We appreciate that. If you are not into that and you just want to skip through, definitely hit the hour 15-minute mark.
And that's where you're going to start getting the paranormal
That's where we're getting
stuff.
the paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
We wanted to put this disclaimer on a show for you because we don't want to mislead you.
In case you're coming on for the first time and you're coming on because Katie's on the show and you're specifically wanting to hear what we talk about for what he does for a living, then yeah, you're going to want to skip ahead. But if you want to get to know a little bit more about him, get to know about how much he loves comic books and comic book movies. I mean, the reason that it's a long conversation is because he was so into it and we just had a really good time. But just so you know, for your own listening pleasure, if you want to hit that stuff first and then come back, if you want to just hit it, roll with it, whatever you want to do, but around the hour 15 mark, that's when we start getting into the paranormal stuff. So feel free to jump ahead if need be.
And now we cue the intro music. Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! We're going to get into this real quick.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Bacon's My Podcast. And yes, we are going to get in and out of this very fast. Quick bit of housekeeping. Our sponsors are Pod Decks, Manscaped, Wild Bills, drinkwildbills.com, and grillyourassoff.com. Check those out. Check out baconismypodcast.com for all your promo codes and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening. We have an awesome chat with Katie Stafford today.
Long talk.
Yeah. From Travel Channel's Ghosts of Morgan City, Ghosts of Devil's Perch. We talked to him all about the paranormal. We talked to him all about video games. We talked to him all about Marvel and movies and DC and all that kind of stuff. It went a little bit long, so we're cutting this short. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for listening. You're awesome.
Yes.
When do you want to start?
And now, I've got a great thing to start this off with.
Start it off, bro. Start it off, buddy.
Let's go.
Guy, fella,
let's see.
Dude. Broski.
Dude.
Relax.
Let's go,
bro.
bro.
Video file? Nope. How do I share?
What you doing over there?
I'm trying to present.
Yeah.
Slides?
Sure.
Oh, that's not a slide.
It's not a slide.
It's okay.
You can just drag it into your
the tab.
As if it's a tab.
Oh, like this? Like this?
Yeah,
just like that.
Just like that.
Doesn't work? Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I'm being technologically. There we got it. I got it.
You got it.
I got it. I'm being technologically declined.
All you had to do.
Yeah. Which is not normal.
Exactly what I said.
Screen share. There we go. Welcome to Bacon is My Podcast, where today, what in the shit? There we go. Okay, so we have. I'm gonna pull this out real quick. So this way it's not. So we've got
for those of you listening on Spotify.
Yeah, so sorry. Not really. We've got a paranormal investigator, a gentleman who makes paranormal toys. The Mad Scientist.
Well, toys. gear.
The Mad Scientist,
It's kind of like being
if
in
you
the
will.
military. Those toys too.
Yeah,
so.
man.
A military veteran.
Yes.
No, yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the star of Travel Channel and Discovery Plus's Ghosts of Devil's Perch. We've got Katie Stafford. What's going on, dude?
What's up, bros?
Isn't it fun doing those like acting like we weren't just talking?
We weren't just talking.
And doing another
What's
intro.
up, my dudes? Yeah, I know. It's like, oh yeah, hey,
good to see you for the first time.
again.
So I have to put this up on the screen because this meme, Jen, my wife, just sent it to me, and we were talking about video games on the What's Your Bacon in 7 Questions.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell this to my son when he says he wants me to buy a PS5.
Yeah, and then actually make him play it for a minute so he knows just how god dang hard it is.
Oh man.
Oh my god,
dude.
It's awful. It is
like
awful.
endless.
So those who are listening, it's a meme. It's called, and we'll put a link down on the, or we'll put it somewhere. But it's told my kid if he beat this, I'd buy them a PS5, and it's the Ninja Turtles video game for Nintendo, the original NES. And
that game took hours away from my life.
The fucking jellyfish,
probably weeks.
Oh my
weeks
god,
away from my life.
Zelda. Well, Zelda 2. Zelda 2. Well, Zelda 2 was frustrating. Zelda 1 was good.
Yeah.
Zelda 1 in the time, you know.
Dude, I can still get lost in Zelda, man. Like I
wish they would go back and really redo the first 2. That would be cool.
Right? Like they're remaking all these games lately.
Right. They reboot everything. They could reboot Zelda.
They're rebooting games from not even that long ago. You know, they're remaking Last of Us, which Last of Us is great, but it's like the new Saints Row,
This is a different game supposedly, and it does look a lot different. It looks more like from what I've seen of it, to me, they're making it look very what's the name of that stupid game? Or I mean, not well, yes, it's stupid. The one that all the kids play. Oh my god. Where they run around.
Fortnite?
It's like PUBG. Fortnite, yes.
Fortnite, yeah. I saw that too. I saw that too, and I was like, man.
Fortnite-ish kind of vibe to it, you know?
That's lame.
I couldn't get into Fortnite.
Yeah, no.
I gave it a shot.
Yeah. I used to play Warcraft too, like World of Warcraft back in the day. Now, like when it was cool. That's
my drummer was big into Guild Wars. That was his big thing, and I remember like that took that made our second record, instead of taking a year to come out, it took like 5 years to come out.
Because games will suck you in, you know. I can't believe I didn't play Fallout back in the day, but then when I think about it, it was on the computer. So
right,
okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a computer when I was a kid, but I had a computer, boy, I'd have been on Fallout, and it would have been it. It's rap.
Yeah, I got lost in Fallout for a while. I definitely did. I definitely got drawn into that one, and then like I never did too well at first person shooters. Those were always ones where like, because to me I'm like, man, if I can see my periph is pretty good.
Right.
Like my whole body doesn't have to turn left and right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know, so that always
too much controls actually add that in. But yeah, I like Fallout 4 probably the best. Most people would disagree, but I like Fallout 4 the best because, first of all, you talk.
Yeah.
And the rest of the games, you didn't have a voice.
Right.
They were trying to make it is whatever. So, but Fallout 4, you actually have the vets, you know, where you can select their body parts and everything. And I think they had that in New Vegas also. But anyway. But it was better in Fallout 4. It was almost like they took it and made it into like a tabletop.
Actually, I've heard that before. Now, I didn't play Fallout 4, but I did hear that from people that did play it. Like I moved over to like I started playing like Borderlands was one of the ones that I started kind of getting into.
Borderlands is fun.
Yeah. I like the art style of Borderlands a lot.
Yeah, I like the art styles. It's cool.
I really like that, like that old school like cell shading style, and like not anime, but it looked very pop art.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I thought that was super cool, and I liked the humor in it and stuff.
Oh yeah,
But-
no. Have you seen the Tiny Tina's Wonderland? That's the
Tiny
new one,
Teenies
man.
one, yeah, man, that's
Yeah, yeah,
great.
that's funny. That's a trip, man. Yeah,
But
but shoot, I'm still stuck on Fallout.
yeah, I
That's
was
it.
more into the third person, man. I get really into I get sucked
Well,
in.
that's the good thing about Fallout 4. You can go into third person.
Yep, you can do third
That's
person. I
so
heard
great.
that. I got to play it. I got to check it out.
Dude, it's great.
Do you like to play games? Like, are you a online player where you like to, like you said, you did Warcraft a little bit. You know,
I
do
used
you
to be, but I mean, I've never really gotten into it just because I don't know. Maybe I was a little late starting out, like getting into the whole like group gaming thing, or I just never got into it when I was younger. So I think a lot of people get their social kicks out of that too, but I'm not like a
Right.
super social person where I have to be like hanging out with people all the time or whatever. So I don't know. I just I never really got into it. I'll play them. I'm not against playing them, but Fallout 76 was terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And then I tried it again because somebody was like, "Oh, that's much better," and I was like, "No." I tried it. And it was like, "What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing here." There's like people running by me. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I feel like
you can make a crap game run better, but it's still a crap game.
Right? Yeah, I just did. Yeah, right. It's just a crap game that runs well.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing too is, and it, like the thing that with video games, I think that's why I got so disconnected from them for a while, is that, as you said, you go to them so this way you can just get away from life for a little bit, like
Yep.
all the crazy shit that you're doing, your day-to-day work, your other stuff, whatever it is, like you go to video games to get away from it. I don't necessarily need it to look that realistic. Like,
no.
I don't.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't want it to be that realistic. I don't want it to be where you're like, I play wrestling video games and it's like, you
man, those look so good.
Yeah.
Well, now they do like stamina and stuff, and
they
it's
look
like,
so good,
I don't want to. I want to run after the ropes back and forth 100 times and not die.
Yeah. Well, the controls are I'm just gonna say all the wrestling games and like UFC and stuff that I've played, where they made the characters look hyper realistic, like they do actually, like in the Madden or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And but all those games are really slow and clunky, and to me, just in my opinion,
I agree.
For a fighting game, bro, it's like I gotta play Tekken.
Tekken's great.
Soul Calibur. Tekken is like more
Soul
skill.
Calibur, dude. Yes.
Yeah, Soul Calibur's badass, and it does require a level of skill or whatever.
Well, you gotta learn that shit.
But yeah, I mean,
you can't just button mash.
Yeah,
Tekken. Some people can get away with that, right? You get one of your cheater characters and just go crazy with it, right? Just mash the same damn buttons over and over again. There's people online that'll whip your ass for that, though. Like Mortal Kombat.
Right.
I did like Mortal Kombat 10 and 11.
I did too. Yeah.
I like 1, 2, and none up until 10.
You know what fighting game I loved? There was two.
Okay.
I was a big Sega guy.
Oh yeah, I had a Sega.
So
Genesis.
Virtual Fighter.
Virtual Fighter was fun.
Great.
I remember that game.
And Eternal Champions.
Eternal Champions was a good game, bro. That was a good game.
Man.
That was that game.
Oh, dude, it was like a really
game. Yeah, go ahead.
It was like a really cool mix of Street Fighter graphics with
it was like comic book art.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, that game reminds me of damn it, what's the other one? Somebody's gonna know it. Oh god. The other big fighting game that was like had a dinosaur in it. Oh my god. Primal Instinct.
Primal Instinct. Yes, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was for what was that? That was like Neo Geo.
That was on the Sega Genesis, dude.
Yeah, that was Genesis.
Yeah, I remember the arcade game. No, or was it Sega CD? Yeah. It might have been Sega CD.
Sega CD.
I could have swore there was a version on Genesis too. I could be wrong.
Did you have a Sega CD?
I did not. My friend had a Sega CD. I
Your friend was the other one because I had one.
Right.
You had one?
We had one. It was
I
terrible.
think there were 2 sold. I bought it because there was a Spider-Man game for it.
2.
That is why I bought it. And that Spider-Man
That's
game
hilarious.
was awful.
Yeah, it was.
There was also
It's so
it probably
bad.
made you not like Spider-Man. It much
made me,
less after that.
Yeah, it made me
It took
really...
Tobey Maguire to come along and boost that level.
Exactly, man. I was like, oh, I'll just go back to comics.
Right. So okay, so serious question.
Yeah.
Favorite Spider-Man
oh, movie wise?
in the movies.
All right.
Okay.
Um,
We've had this discussion before.
There's only
Yeah.
one correct answer.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Like if you had
know.
to choose one.
Now,
If you had to
okay,
choose
wait.
just one.
Let me ask him the rebuttal.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. Are we talking who's our favorite Spider-Man? Who's our favorite Peter Parker?
Right.
Or who's our favorite all around?
Right.
Favorite all
Because-
around.
Favorite all around?
Oh, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. I gotta say. I know. I'm sorry.
What?
So here's... I'm going to give you my reasons.
I'm not a huge fan of Tom Holland like everybody is. It's like they want to put him in everything. It's like with the Uncharted thing. Isn't he going to be in Uncharted?
He was in Uncharted.
He wasn't, yeah.
And it wasn't good.
Okay, so
It
it
wasn't
wasn't
good.
Drake.
Yeah. He's
How
not
the hell are
anything
you going to
Drake.
put Tom Holland in place
No.
of Drake for
No.
Drake? I mean, that's just crazy.
young.
He looks
Too young
I
for
mean,
Drake.
Yeah, Drake's
looks like
he's like an Indiana Jones type.
He's a
dude.
man.
Right.
He's an
He's
adult
He's like
man.
a full-grown man,
Adult.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't know. It seems like he's. I don't know. Is he short? I don't have a problem with short people, but he
I don't
just
know.
seems
Is he
really
short?
short.
He
He
is.
might be short.
He is
He
short.
seems like a short, stocky dude
Yeah.
that would just get on your nerves. Sorry,
see-
to any short,
No,
stocky dudes
That's-
that are
that'd be
annoying.
me.
That's you're a short stocky
Yeah,
dude
that
that
would be-
gets on your nerves.
But no,
Yeah.
he does kind of. I don't know. He's probably cool. I don't know.
I tell you what. Here's my
Probably,
reasoning on the Tom Holland thing. I think Tobey Maguire. One, I think like it's kind of one of those things where like you can tell how old somebody is, whether they're like Ewoks or not. You know, like that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah. Sort of.
Right.
Sort of.
So Tom
Yeah.
Holland or Tobey Maguire was the first time that we as comic book fans got to see a really good
Peter Parker.
comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
the Superman
yeah.
movies,
Definitely was
Christopher
the
Reeve
first.
were
Definitely
great.
was the first good one.
Batman was great with Michael Keaton, but this
Yeah,
was
how
like
did that go downhill?
it really felt like yes, it really felt like he was doing all the things that you saw him do in the comics.
Yeah.
Right? Batman
Right, yeah,
wasn't.
no,
Neither
totally.
was he.
Yeah. He was smart. He was funny. He was weird.
Yeah.
His jokes were funny. Like
Now,
I feel like
I-
he was
I
a good
think-
Peter Parker, but I
Yeah.
thought
I-
he was a shitty Spider-Man.
I think he was. I don't think he was a shitty
not
Spider-Man,
a shitty Spider-Man, but not.
but I don't think he was
Great
nearly annoying enough as Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a wisecracking, annoying. He makes
He's
his
a rated
enemies screw up
PG. He's a rated PG
because
Deadpool.
he drives them nuts. 'cause he
yes,
doesn't shut up.
This is true, but you have to keep in mind. I mean, okay, the production quality of the movies may not be
Yeah.
as good, but I feel like had he been given those lines and had he had all the things available to him
I
that they
agree.
have now, that he would be the ultimate Spider-Man. He would be.
I agree.
Like in a universe where our movies age along with us.
Right, but
Okay.
we are on Earth 616,
That's true. This is true.
where
Right.
his Spider-Man is what it was. Which again, I also think that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 is in my top
Oh,
Three.
easily.
of superhero movies ever. 'Cause
I agree.
Yeah,
Spider-Man
the
2
third the third movie was bad.
yes,
But I didn't say I liked all the movies.
Right.
Like,
The
I just
second
say
one
that
was
I feel like
so
Tobey
good.
Maguire is the ultimate.
The
like, he
third,
does
I will
both
say
well.
this: the third movie, I tried to stand outside with a buddy of mine. We went to the midnight showing, and we stood outside and in the parking lot at my car. We're just trying to go back and forth and go. This was a pretty redeeming quality.
right. Here's why
But
we
this
should
is-
like it. Here's
this
why we
is
should
okay.
like it.
This was okay.
Right.
This is okay. And then we like both woke up the next morning. And we were just like, God, that fucking movie was so bad.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
no,
in
just-
denial.
You
In
leave and
denial.
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
Topher Grace.
Right.
Topher
Grace. I like Topher Grace. I don't.
But
I don't
he's
think
not Eddie Brock.
He's definitely
man.
not Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock was like a Arnold size dude.
Yeah,
in the comic books he was anyway. I mean, was he?
But he had to be. I remember comics where Eddie Brock
which didn't make sense
arguments.
really because he was just a photographer. And they didn't really have much about him. Like he was like a photographer on the side. He's a
bodybuilder, right?
Something like that. They needed, but anyway. But
I do remember comics. I do remember a comic, at least one, where Eddie Brock was having a conversation with the symbiote, and he was working out at the time, and he was like, "You have unlimited power. My muscles have to be earned, and then together we're better." Right. And so it was like
that's a retcon. That's like a retcon.
That was in the comic,
Yeah, later on. It was later on.
Yeah.
It was a little bit later on. Right. Yeah, they retconned it.
So
fine.
Cool. that's
but
there.
But that's also like in the world of Spider-Man, right? Like it doesn't always have to be this way. Like we can change Spider-Man. We can change it to the Amazing Spider-Man. It can be Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular, Web of
just Spider-Man. It can be whatever, and you can do whatever telling of it you want. That's the only way I was able to come to terms with the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I want to say that
Andrew Garfield was a good.
I think he did
Spider-Man.
He was good.
He was
Spider-Man.
good too. He was
way
good.
too cool to be Peter Parker.
Right.
He was a little too cool. He wasn't quite nerdy.
He's like skateboarding and fucking
and he
hot.
just had this look. He had the hair. It's like, come on, bro. Whatever.
He had a coiff.
Yeah.
He had a coiff going.
So get out of here, dude.
Although in No Way Home, I thought he stole the show.
I still haven't watched. I can't bring myself to watch it.
What?
I have to. I know I haven't. I know.
Dude, it's so good.
It's a great film.
It's hard though, man. You know what I mean? It's like I've been hit with so much.
I'll throw,
and it's like it's all like.
I will
it's
throw
like everything you've read and everything is just turned and twisted, and it's like a lot to take in just over. I'm going to
tell you right now.
Years.
No Way Home goes a long way in making everything
that you disliked about
better.
Anything you disliked about Iron Man Jr. Spider-Man,
right?
It's all figured out,
right?
It makes sense.
I was gonna make a joke. So they replaced Tom Holland.
No, but he does a really good job.
Okay, well, good job, Tom. Well, it's the whole time. It's like I've been jerked around with Spider-Man so much, and I know it's like I just said, like you can change the story, you can do a different telling. You're just like, give me a minute. Look, we didn't even get a Spider-Man 3 with Garfield, right?
No,
but we might.
So that's what I'm saying. It was like, I don't even care if it would have sucked. Just make it anyway. Just complete the trilogy, bro.
If you saw the story for that trilogy, it was going to be really fucking bad.
Also, if you
saw at least we would be able to say.
But if you saw Garfield emailing people completely shitting all over Sony and what they were doing to Spider-Man, that's why we didn't get a 3.
Yeah.
Which
they could have like digitally stuck his face on somebody or something. I don't know.
But it makes me like him better. Actually, it made me.
It was just kind of like, hey, listen,
you kind of won me over a little bit.
You know who he looks like a little bit in that Spider-Man movie? To me, he looks a little bit like Anakin Skywalker. Like what's his name when he played Anakin?
Oh
Skywalker.
yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. Yeah.
The little hair.
Right.
And the little grin.
What's his name again? Hayden Christensen.
Yes. Who's aged like not very well.
Terribly.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw him the other day. I was like, who is that? Anakin? Annie. No, Annie.
He's just not been kind to him.
He hurt my soul.
I thought they put him in. He's going to be in. I think he's playing Vader actually. And
he was in Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he was in Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan. Right. Yeah, I saw that. Well, I didn't see it, but I heard about it because I'm done with Star Wars, man. I just can't do it anymore.
You know what? And I'll say it again.
Star Wars to
Obi-Wan was a good show.
It might be. I'm not saying any of it's bad. I'm just saying it's just like it's kind of like the Marvel thing.
It's a lot.
Throwing all this, yeah, because you had with Marvel, you had all the Avengers movies, which were great. Yep. Well, the majority of it was great. Yeah. But that's like boom, a whole bunch to take in, right? Especially when you grow up reading all that stuff, you know.
Right.
And so you just get your head wrapped around that, and then here comes Spider-Man, and there's all these different things going on in the Spider-Verse. And it's so like all the Spider-Men, not just one. So now you got all of them, and it's crazy. It's a bunch of craziness. But then it's like not only that, then you have Star Wars still out effing around, you know, and making stuff like constantly just churning it out.
Right.
They're for me. I have other things I have to do, man.
Well, yeah, they're trying too hard. There's life.
Right.
Well, as a
we get starved for Fallout. Like they're supposed to be coming out with a show. I haven't seen anything about the show.
Yeah, there's a show that's happening.
But I'm pretty sure it's just going to be bad, and it's just going to disappoint me. I'm just going to have to block it out.
Negative Nancy, man.
I know, man, but it's hard now. It's so hard to.
So I want to ask you, just sticking on the Marvel stuff for just a little bit longer, like as a person who grew up as an X-Men guy with Wolverine as your favorite, who then transitioned to Deadpool as being your favorite.
Yes. That's very accurate.
How did you feel? How do you feel now knowing that Ryan Reynolds got Hugh Jackman to come back to do Wolverine again for Deadpool 3?
I think it's cool, like meme, kind of like cameo type deal. I think that's cool. But I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. So together, sure, let's do it. You know, a lot of people didn't like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine for like the one movie. What was it?
At the beginning,
Well, at the very beginning, it was the same reason why a lot of people
Wolverine Origins.
Wolverine Origins. Yeah,
that was.
I loved that movie. I thought it was good. I thought that I'm not a. I love movies, but I'm not like a standard movie critic.
I'm on Katie's side. Parts of that movie were great. The parts that were bad were so bad that it soured everybody's taste on the whole thing.
Right. Because but the parts about him like living in the wilderness, you know, like he was in the that was so Wolverine, bro. That was so Logan. Yeah, it was crazy. And I love Wolverine, so I named my kid after him. Him Logan. My son's name Logan. Yeah, so like, you know, that part was cool. Now they did jack up all the characters, but you know, it's like the Deadpool thing too.
Well, I think at the beginning,
we just forget all that crap.
Right.
Well, I do think the beginning with like Ryan Reynolds, what is it, 20 minutes that he was Wade Wilson
was great.
Was like
great.
Yeah, it was
magic.
It set him up.
It was fucking magic.
No,
until they turned him into Deadpool.
I think Ryan Reynolds is great, man. I love Ryan Reynolds and most of the things he's done. Not everything.
Yeah, I love that. But I really did. I loved that part. I remember I actually got the pre-screen version of the Wolverine movie.
Right.
And I was like, it was one of those things where the effects weren't done and this and that, and I was like, man, I have to go see it. I still have to go see it because
like the bootleg.
It can't be that bad. Yeah. And I went to go see it and I was like, man, I should have just curbed my expectations when I saw that bootleg version, because it was like,
dude, nobody in that movie did, like hero or villain wise was done any justice. I don't think there was not. No. Besides Wolverine, everybody else was like
Deadpool in the beginning.
Deadpool. Yeah, before he turned into Deadpool, yes, it's great Wade Wilson. You know, but when he turned into Deadpool, whoa, like what the hell is that? Like, he's. Oh, I get it. Like they were trying to give him all the mutant powers, but then it's like, it just did not make sense, and then it was just over just so quick, and it was like.
And that William Stryker too was kind of like.
Stryker was close.
He was okay. Brian Cox.
Who?
Brian Cox.
No, he's a great actor, right? But the character himself depends on the telling. You know, Stryker could be either way. Like, I think in the beginning he was kind of meant to just be kind of like an old general type dude. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
like an old salty Marine or something, you know, and it was just kind of his job to do all that. So yeah, I could see that. He was kind of but the worst thing was Lady Deathstrike, right? Like that was silly. That was silliness.
I love X2. I'm just gonna go out on the record.
X2 was okay.
X2 was
Is that the one? Did that have that was the one where Hugh Jackman had the Mazda M6 or whatever in it, right?
With the crap coming out with
M7. I'm sorry. Is it M7? I think it's M7 or whatever. Oh my god, it was so ridiculous. It's like, wow, okay, I got it. This is product placement.
To be fair,
here's where we are.
To be fair, that was Cyclops' car, and Cyclops is a dick.
Cyclops is a dick. Yeah.
That was that Cyclops' car.
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing driving that little tiny thing? His big Russian ass ain't gonna fit in that little tiny Mazda.
That's Colossus.
Not Colossus, Cyclops.
Oh,
Cyclops.
wait, Cyclops.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the nerd. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll lose points for that. You said you said Cyclops. I'm thinking Colossus.
Yeah,
my bad.
That's all right, because nobody wants to think about
Scott
Cyclops.
Summers. Come on, man. I know where we're at.
No. Listen, I don't fault you. I try and forget Cyclops if I could, because
I just haven't seen any. Yeah, I never liked Colossus. I know. I always liked Colossus. Never liked Cyclops. Cyclops was just he was a douche. He was just in the way. We had to
all
have this
the time,
guy.
Always.
And he never really did anything.
It's so funny because they clearly positioned him both in the comics and in the cartoon and in the movies as this guy that was like the heir apparent and the leader and all that stuff, but nobody likes him.
There's no redeeming.
Redeeming qualities. Even Jean Grey didn't like him. Jean Grey didn't like him.
She was like,
this guy's really a dick. I'd rather be with you, Logan, but I have to be with him.
Right.
It's like, oh well, you've got.
He's just always in the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Very much in the way.
The only time he was ever cool is like when somebody yank his visor off and he's just he couldn't control it. He's just blasting everything, just leveling.
Although
that was cool.
He turned into a villain in the comics, which was awesome.
Yeah.
That was the Avengers vs. X-Men.
Yeah, where we had the alternate timeline.
Yeah.
It was that one, right? Where Wolverine got his hand cut off.
Yes.
And he had the little metal cuff in place of his hand, and the claws would come out of the cuff. Yeah, I think.
I didn't read that. I didn't read that one.
Yeah. That's kind of
Avengers vs. X-Men too.
I think I saw an action.
That was that was the X-Men. Oh Jesus, what was it called?
X-Men Evolution.
No, it was when. Okay, hold on. Let me think for a second. It was when Wolverine. No, it wasn't Wolverine. No, I'm trying to think of like the comic book story that it was where future. It was like future or
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past, but it wasn't that. But it's something like that. And then you had for Avengers, you had the House of M.
Right.
Yeah, and that was the Scarlet Witch.
That one I read.
And that was that was an alternate timeline for them. But the X-Men's was like something like Days of Future Past, and that was in a setting of alternate timeline, a post-apocalyptic where the mutants took over, and you had Apocalypse and everything.
Right.
And he was like running the show, and Wolverine and everybody was like hiding underground. They were like a underground band of rebels.
Yeah,
and they had that's where Bishop came from, I think. Well, Bishop came from a different alternate future. Yes. It was crazy, man.
Okay, I was confused because I was like, I know Bishop, and I read that.
But yeah, that's a different alternate future.
Cyclops. Cyclops becomes full on bad guy in Avengers vs. X-Men.
We'll be right back.
What's up, guys? Going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors real quick. Just want to start off with grillyourassoff.com. If you are going into grilling season like we are, then you know that you always need a little rub. You always need a little sauce. You need something that's going to help your grilling get better. Help those chicken breasts, right? They get a little dry sometimes. You want to make sure you're saucing them up. You want to make sure those ribs have got a nice dry rub and a saucy rub. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Check it out. I've used their stuff. It's delicious. 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Another place you can go to to get 10% off with that promo code, drinkwildbills.com. They've got delicious sodas. They've got all sorts of different flavors, from sarsaparilla to birch beer to you name it. You got your root beers, you got your cream sodas, you got your creamsicles.
Yeah. Sugar-free for you guys. Watching the waistline.
Indeed. And also, they've got some great jerky stuff. They've got the brisket bites are A+.
Indeed.
A+. And if you go there, go to drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, get 10% off.
One more place you can use that same promo code BACON is our oldest sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster, if you are a budding interviewer, if you are just somebody that has a hard time talking to people every now and then, or want to do something fun with your friends, check out poddex.com. They have these decks of cards, 50 cards per deck, 50 questions. Check it out. Learn things about your friends, learn things about people, learn how to talk a little bit more, and be a little bit more comfortable. Always use the promo code BACON. Again, to get 10% off your order. They got cool swag too.
Indeed. And last but not least, of course, always frame the balls.
Yes.
Is that what you do? Frame the balls.
Frame the balls?
Well,
You could frame the balls.
You could, though. You could. But if you got a bush, it's just not. It's the summer.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the perfect package and go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off your order. And they've got all sorts of great stuff. If you're a guy who's looking to feel so fresh and so clean.
Indeed. And not only do you get 20% off, but you also get free shipping.
Free shipping?
Shine up those balls. Get rid of that bush. Clean yourself up. And if you don't
Indeed.
clean yourself up, start.
Yeah.
Bacon Pod, 20% off, free shipping. Check it out. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks for hanging out. What's your bacon?
How you guys doing? My name is Raleigh V. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out Problems, it's streaming everywhere, and you're consuming bacon is my podcast.
I think the best thing Cyclops ever did was give us cable.
I don't know if screw that.
I agree.
I don't think I ever read the Avengers versus X-Men or
It's a good read. It's a good read if you got a few minutes for like a
is it like a quickie comic book or is it like a series?
It's a graphic novel. It's definitely a graphic novel.
So it's thicker. Okay.
But you can get it all at once. Yeah, you can get it all
the
at once.
whole
It's not
shebang
like you don't have to buy like 4 of them.
So you
to get
binge on it. I like to buy 4 separate comic books.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. There's a quality to that, like where you love to do it.
There is, man. It's
there
missed
is, man,
because
but,
like it's
Civil
things
War
are
was
coveted.
hard to follow because it was like I didn't buy New Mutants and I didn't buy like those weren't ones I got. So when I was trying to read through Civil War, I was like, what do I got to find now?
That's your motivation to get as many people as you can reading it, so they sell them.
That's true.
So
That
they make more of them, and but the thing about that is no comics are rare anymore. You don't have rare comics anymore because it's all digital.
Yeah.
So there's no rarity, there's no collecting of anything really. You're just consuming, just purchasing now. But back in the day, man, we go to the they still have little comic book sections like the flea market and stuff.
right.
You go to like vintage stock, but it's all been documented.
You go on a Wednesday and you get your 4 different covers of
the same comic
of Spawn #1.
Oh, dude, I bought so many Spawn comic books like 3 years ago. Oh my god, I was on a spree. I was buy every single one I saw. I'd buy it.
Nice.
So I leave vintage stock with like 20 Deadpool comic books.
Oh yeah.
What is your like hard copy comic book? Like, what is the piece that you've got?
Piece de resistance.
Well, I have it packed away, but I have Wolverine, the Wolverine saga. I feel like that's my favorite.
Okay. The 4 issue?
It's the 4 issue, 4 volume. So volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's all those in one. And I used to have all 4 of them, but I think I have 3 of the originals now too.
Yes. I have the graphic novel of the 4, and then I also have the first one of the original 4-pack, like the 4-issue thing.
Nice.
Now that was a good one, but the Iron Wars was good too.
Iron Wars was good. Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
That
I
was
like
a good
that.
graphic. Like a collection. And
I got that one as a graphic novel. I didn't get that one during the
me
comic
too.
time.
Well, I had a few of them when they were comics.
Yeah,
but I just had like 2, and there was a lot of them. But the other obvious favorite of those would be like, oh shit, what was it? It was just in my head, and now it's gone. Death of Superman.
Oh yeah. I had all those too. Yeah,
I have like 2 or 3
You
of
had
those.
the Death of Superman, and then you had another one that came out. It was Rise of the Superman.
Rise of the Superman. Yep.
Did you get?
If you've
Did
read
you get?
those, you would know the movie. Like the movies heavily took from that,
Dude,
but didn't do anything with it. It's like
Right.
you took a whole bunch of stuff and you just crapped on it.
Yeah.
I keep
Even the
saying
animated
this.
movies. Yeah.
I keep saying this. Like, I think any director that is given that power just goes, cool, I'm going to take this, and there's so much to unpack. I'm going to just try and cover as much as possible. And they just throw 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah, but then they try to go back and recover things that most people already know. And if you don't know, then you can easily learn it. And I think it would add to the production quality of the whole movie. Would be like, we don't have to tell Jor-El's story too. We don't have to go back and tell the family, see again what happened, just because we have better graphics, y'all. We have to destroy Krypton again. It's like, fuck, Krypton's been destroyed like 25 times already.
If you can pick,
fucking destroying Krypton.
All right, I'm gonna give you 3 scenes, and you tell me which one is the one you most never want to ever see again and don't need to see again.
Okay,
1,
I'm ready.
Krypton's destruction.
That's up there.
2, with great power comes great responsibility from Uncle Ben. 3, those goddamn pearls.
That's hard between the first one and the third one. And they're both it's so funny that they're both so closely connected, and they're both such annoyingly retold stories. You know what? I'm gonna quantitate this based on things, right? So we got how many times? I don't know. I'm gonna assume that I've seen Krypton destroyed in the original 4 movies. You've probably seen it destroyed 3 times, 3 times.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with out of those 3. No, you know what? Maybe even 5. Because you have Supergirl also, the movie.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So we got to see it destroyed again, and gosh,
and then
dang,
Supergirl, the TV
so it's
show.
been all right, no, all right. So Superman, I can't even name them all.
Right.
I could count on one hand how many times I've seen the pearls fall. I haven't watched all the crappy CW crap, so I can't guarantee about that.
They didn't do much in Batman over the CW.
I'm surprised
they
weren't allowed.
Well, I mean, that's like the one scene that that's what one does when you remake a Batman.
They turned
Drop
Green
the damn
Arrow
pearls
into
in the water.
They turned Green Arrow into Batman because they couldn't get him.
Well,
they couldn't get Batman himself, so they just took all of his villains.
Right.
As one does.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sure.
Because Oliver Queen was a brooder. No, he wasn't.
It's kind of like how they did with like Marvel, though. They had Marvel. Was it the show that came out? And it's like they put a bunch of the good characters in the show, and I didn't like the show for the Avengers. What was it? Avengers something. But I can't remember the name of it. That's how crappy it was. It wasn't that great.
I'm trying to think. But
was it
Agents, or is it Agent?
Agents of Shield.
Agent Shield. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Agent Shield.
Yes.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough to try and get through.
That was like watching.
I was initially excited because of Coulson, but then it was.
And then they were like, "You can't use any of the stuff from the movies. You can't reference the movies."
Right. That's what they said. No, like no. You can't use stuff from the movie, but we can use whatever you guys use in the show. We'll conveniently bring that on over here.
If it works, we're gonna take it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they're like,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
if we don't get a bunch of nerds knocking our doors down at 4 a.m. asking us why so and so is still alive after this or whatever, then we'll use it. It was like, I believe it was a testing ground. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked comics this whole time.
Yes.
I have
And
one.
video
We
games.
have. I love
I have-
comics.
I have one more comic question for you.
Sorry
and then
for any of my sideways responses like the Tobey
dude.
Maguire.
Oh, stop.
Please.
No worries.
Please.
Listen, in all of our hearts, we all know Tobey Maguire is a great Peter Parker. We all know that. We all know that Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man,
Right.
but Tom Holland is the best overall. We all know that.
I'm not
It's
going to
fine.
go that far. I'm going to say that the main reason I did want to say this earlier, but the main reason that I think that Tobey Maguire is better is because of the director.
Oh, Sam Raimi. I mean,
Sam
yeah.
Raimi.
Sam
right?
Raimi
So
is-
Sam Raimi did
yeah.
those, and Sam Raimi adds a touch to some movies that I otherwise wouldn't even like. I mean, I would have liked
Right.
Spider-Man, probably, maybe, anyway, right? But Sam Raimi doing it,
Yeah.
that was just
well,
that
no,
was
that
great.
makes it absolutely that adds a special.
I agree. I do
adds,
agree.
Adds a special thing.
And there's none of the other directors. Yeah, they've been good for like Spider-Man movies, but they're just kind of good action movies. There's no quality to it. There's no like technique, sort of. I mean, there is, but it's all like it's like cookie cutter Marvel stuff
right.
coming down a conveyor belt.
Yeah,
Consume.
there's a similar
Consume.
track that kind of starts to happen.
With
Which
the Marvel
there's
stuff,
definitely
MCU
some
stuff.
standouts. Like Marvel and DC both. I have my standout movies that I think were
I thought Man
really
of Steel was good.
movies. Man of Steel I really liked a
I
lot.
thought it was pretty
And
good.
I'm super psyched that Henry Cavill is back as
I
Superman.
heard that. I
Yeah.
didn't like the way they did the Batman versus Superman.
No.
And then
not
they
at all.
killed
Or
Superman
Justice
off
League.
way
No.
too early. Like, you don't
Yeah.
kill Superman, and you don't even kill him like that. Like, what are you,
Well,
doing?
They wanted
Second movie.
They wanted to shoehorn Doomsday in so
Did they
badly,
even read the
and it was
comic
like-
books?
No.
Well, that's my
Clearly-
issue.
clearly
That's
they
my
did
issue
not.
with the whole thing is, and this is what I said to you. It was like, I feel like Zack Snyder was like, dude, I get to do these movies. Guess what? I don't know if I'm gonna live tomorrow. So you know what? I'm gonna take all the best stories and throw them all. You know what? Dark Knight Returns, great story. I'm gonna put that in. Death of Superman, great story. I'm gonna put that in.
Right.
Oh wait, you want to get? Fuck it. Bring in
Right.
bring in Wonder Woman. That's
Right.
great.
We need to
And it
introduce
was
you.
just like what?
Yeah, whatever.
I
It's like
think,
watching Super Friends a little bit, but sure. Well, let's do this.
Yeah.
I think you had Zack Snyder who if you pay attention to Zack Snyder and you checked out Watchmen and you understood, like, Zack Snyder hates Superman.
I get the gritty, like,
Right.
and the shit. I'm having a brain fart again. A glitch.
Well, he doesn't get the character
Paul
Superman.
Verhoeven.
Yeah,
His name, like RoboCop director,
Robo-
sort of
yeah.
kind of vibe, like the
Right.
sarcasm, the satire. You're poking fun at advertising and all this stuff the whole time. Everything's gritty and kind of reversed.
right.
I get that, and it's cool.
Well, I
But,
feel like you had a
I mean-
director that fundamentally didn't agree with or like Superman as a character. And so he
Right.
didn't pay attention to what makes Superman that character.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
the
tried to
MacGuffin.
throw in stuff. Right. And then
He's the
he
MacGuffin.
also,
He's the magic MacGuffin.
yeah, and he also like didn't quite understand Batman because he was like, Batman would kill people. And it's like, that's kind of his thing. That's kind of
It's kind of weird, right?
that's kind of the whole thing
Yeah.
behind him.
Did you just read Batman #1?
But
Right.
he had at that
Oh,
point.
okay.
By then he'd already killed
Right.
General Zod. He'd
Already,
already
yeah.
snapped his neck in front of all the kids and everything.
Well, yeah.
Twist his head right out in front of the kiddos.
And
Sorry,
but
kids.
I understand that, like,
Enjoy the
okay,
museum.
that's the way to get him to wherever you're wanting to get him. But it's like, dude, like, that's not. I understood why people were like, that ain't my Superman. And it's like,
But
all
yeah,
right, but
that's
I'm
exactly how I felt after I watched it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what the hell is this? Like, Superman wouldn't purposely snap somebody's neck.
yeah, he would have found a way.
But see, that was a rock in a hard place, sort of. So I get the situation. That was kind of a silly rock in the hard place, but whatever.
Well, it was a rock in a hard place that the writer wrote in. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
He wrote in.
He
so
put
that-
it there.
He put it.
It was
there
like
so
yeah,
that
it was
he
like
could
that's,
have-
it was like a plot hole filler. It was like a thing.
He was
So
like,
could
how can
say-
I
but
get
it-
Superman to snap a neck?
right?
Here's how I do
exactly.
it.
Yeah, how can we kill Zod? The only way
Right.
you could kill Zod would be another Kryptonian. When we know that's not true.
Now, Christopher Reeve Superman also killed Zod. Let's be honest. He threw him in the.
Well, he didn't kill
Fortress
him.
of
He put him in the.
Solitude.
Yeah, he put him in the.
No, he tossed him,
in
man.
the-
He took all his powers away, and then
the
he
negative
tossed him
zone.
off a cliff.
In the negative zone.
No,
Yeah,
at
he
the,
put him-
end of Superman 2, man, he throws
yeah,
him
okay,
into a
okay,
wall,
yeah,
and then he
yeah.
slides down into the abyss.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, but he keeps coming back.
He like took all his powers away.
He's like he's got
and
the
then
same.
threw a human into a wall.
He's got the same insurance plan that Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger does.
Well, he
then he's-
survived
then
in the
he's back.
comics.
Yeah.
In the
Then he's-
comics, he
that's true.
survived. You know,
That's
so so we do have General Zod as a full on character. We get to see his whole family and that oh god, the rings. Green Lantern, Jesus
Green
Christ,
Lantern.
the lantern,
Yeah.
the big thick thing
Right.
about I'm trying to think of the series where it was all the rings got passed out to man, they made it's not the one with
Oh.
Parallax.
Oh,
Or is
no,
it
I
the
know
one
what you're
with
talking about.
no.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't read it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know it.
Anyways,
It's not the one they made
right.
a movie out of and
What?
no.
botched.
Right. No,
Yeah,
that was terrible. Oh my god, that was so terrible. That's another thing I was getting to with Ryan Reynolds, man. Like
Yeah.
he got done bad twice, bro.
Dude,
They
how do you
had to
screw-
give him Deadpool again.
How do you
just
screw
because
that
he was
up?
probably going to sue somebody because they screwed him over twice.
I still love. I watched Deadpool 2 the other day, and it was like he's got that time machine thing, and
Right.
and
Oh,
he
yeah,
sits
yeah.
at Deadpool at Ryan Reynolds. He's like, "We got it," and you hear pew, right through that Green Lantern. Script.
Someday you're gonna hang up the claws,
Yeah.
and your buddy Ryan's
My
gonna
favorite-
ask you to pick him back up.
My favorite line in the Deadpool movie my favorite scene was the fight with the Juggernaut. Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was great.
That was the first one. Yeah. It was great. We got ripped in half, and he had little
Yep.
baby legs and everything after that. It was so great.
I love that.
That was Deadpool, man. That was so Deadpool.
That was
It
very Deadpool.
You run
I'm
around for a quarter of the movie, and you have child's legs.
Yeah,
that
going
wasn't a
full
quarter.
Donald Duck.
It was probably 15 minutes.
Full
maybe.
Winnie the Pooh. Full Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
I make fun of Jen. Jen just bought some new Crocs, and she lets
Jen
our
is his
kids.
wife.
Yeah, Jen's my wife, and
Okay.
she lets the kids run around in Crocs, and I was like, you know what Deadpool calls those, right? You know what Deadpool calls them? She's like, no. I said, my big rubber masturbating shoes. She goes, stop that.
Dude, I had put a little hula girl on top of my Roomba. That they don't go under. They don't go under the couch very
That's
well.
great. That's great.
And my
We
cat
have-
kept attacking it. And
Oh yeah, I'm sure that a cat or a dog would like just have a field day with it.
dude, I have so many pictures dressed up as Deadpool on my Instagram. It's so funny. I was thinking about Deadpool and remember that. I have a little unicorn toy and everything too.
Nice.
I have a Deadpool sweatshirt that
Nice.
zips up all the way up, so it has like you can pull the hood over, mask.
Nice.
Again, that's
I have a
another
a
Jen-
onesie. I have like a Deadpool onesie. That's weird. I know my wife
That
got
is
it
weird.
for me. It's like
That's
it's like a what is it? It's pajama type.
Yeah.
For kids. It just doesn't have the butt flap in it.
So
But
I
I
was
call
gonna
it
say,
a
does it have the
onesie.
butt flaps? 'Cause that
It
would-
looks like a damn onesie to me. That's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Does it have the
giant
feet in it?
man-sized onesie.
Does it have the feet so you could skate around on
does
carpet?
Oh shit! No, I guess it don't have the feet in it. I guess it's not a true onesie then, is it? Well, no,
it's
that
still
could be
one.
one.
No,
Onesie.
it
It's
counts.
still
It
one
counts.
piece.
As long as I
It's
don't
one
wear
piece.
socks.
It counts as one.
I have two Deadpool Christmas sweaters.
Dude, I'm
like that.
surrounded in Deadpool stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, grab that hat over there.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my faves. I got this wonderful another Jen thing. Jen loves giving
I have
me
that
Deadpool
hat.
stuff. So
I
this
have
one,
that.
Yeah.
I have that one. I have
yeah.
all of them, dude. I have every single dude. I have a box over here somewhere. I have everything packed up, but I have so
Nice.
much Deadpool stuff.
That's great.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I've
Nice.
got tons of Deadpool. I have Deadpool Monopoly over here as well. I can.
Oh, nice. How's Deadpool
Yeah.
Monopoly?
There's
I don't know. I
Dead-
haven't opened it. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't buy two and keep one closed and then open
I'm not
one?
rich, man. I just have to imagine what it's like and just imagine playing it and having fun.
We bought me and my girlfriend got Avengers Monopoly over COVID.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
because she's a big Marvel person. Well, Marvel and DC person. Well, Wonder Woman. She's big into Wonder Woman and Batman, but then on the other side, Marvel. And
Right.
she loves Deadpool as well. But we got the Avengers Monopoly, and we did open that and play it. We did open that. And play it.
I have
Nice.
Fallout. I have the actual board game too, which I still haven't played that either. I probably
Nice.
should.
Nice.
Some LARPing.
Yeah, man.
I'll put on my. I'll put on my handy dandy Pit Boy.
Nice.
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 Go tromping through the wasteland in my basement.
That's awesome. So we're like almost an hour into this, and
Right.
we haven't
Are we?
even talked about anything that you do like for real.
Right.
Well,
real.
not for
Which is
real.
okay.
Well, like yeah, no, that's fine. Like
Which is
I mean, I
okay.
do
super
lots of
happy for you.
stuff. I mean, yeah,
You
yeah.
are
Paranormal
you
thing, yeah.
are the paranormal mad scientist.
This is
Some
true.
may say, like okay, so I used to watch the Hoser Files, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my wife Jen, it's her,
Mhm.
like Dave Schrader is probably her favorite paranormal investigator, right?
That hurts my feelings.
Well,
But-
One of them at the time.
He's pretty great.
Used to be.
He used to
Used to
be. He used to be.
Used to be okay.
Right.
All right, that works.
So, like-
that works for me.
She liked Hoser Files, so did I,
Mhm.
and then that was not renewed, and then we
Mhm.
found Ghost Devil's Perch, and I was like, well, who is this other guy? Where is Shane?
There are a lot of people have
And then-
that question.
And
It's like,
then,
this
and
ain't
then
the gosh darn Holster Files.
right.
I was
But
here
after
first.
Literally after the first episode, I was like, KD's my dude. Like this is my dude right
There you
here.
go.
And we only got like I think we started like 2 or 3 episodes in, and then we went back and like Morgan City, and then all of a sudden you popped up in Morgan City, and I was like, oh,
Like, hey,
he's there, he's right there. He did like the God helmet and shit, and
Yeah.
like that's
Mhm. Yep.
fucking cool. So
Thank you.
yes, I was so excited to have you on, and the technical side of paranormal investigations, because like my wife is a sensitive,
Mhm.
and we really got into like the paranormal stuff in the past like 3 years or so.
That's
but-
cool, man.
To me, the technical side always really resonated with me because, you know, like we're musicians, we got the gear, we see how like sometimes you use some of that gear.
We like things that do things.
Like,
I do. I definitely
you'll use,
use
like,
a lot of audio. If you're an
reverb
audiophile-
pedals and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've seen a lot of cool like things made out of ghost boxes made out of amps and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
so for me being a paranormal
audio
perhaps moron.
Oh
Like,
yeah, okay. Well,
yeah.
yeah, I'm a paranormal
Noob?
moron too, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
like-
Paranormal noob.
Yeah, no, like
Not really a
there's
noob, but-
there's sensitive,
Right.
and then there's also like morons.
Okay.
And I was a moron for a long time. Like I just recently, like we found a house, and Jen was like, "Tell me which room upstairs sounds like feels weird to you."
Mhm.
And I went up and I detected it, and I said, "Is this a room?" She's like, "Yes." And I was like, "Sweet, I win." But that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
That's all I
Oh,
got.
wow.
So like,
So you
The
were
whole-
you were a moron until that one day.
no, I'm still a moron.
Oh,
But I do love, but
Me
I do
too.
love the
It's
fact,
fine.
like, yeah,
me too.
but I love the fact that you approach it in a very different way, and it's like, okay, well, cool. paranormal, totally, like I'm open to it, but let's get some evidence besides you, like somebody that I don't know feeling it per se.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, that's kind of the why I started doing it. Like, well, digging into it heavier is because, I was seeing, I watched on TV. I've investigated before, sure, in my own way, doing my thing when we were in Germany. That's probably, well, I guess the first time I ever, like, knowingly did something to try and capture some kind of paranormal activity, which I guess you could say would be your first go at it, would be like 2006 at this place I worked at. I tried to record an EVP after I listened to George Norrie all night, the night before, talking about EVPs on Coast to Coast AM. So I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I've heard of that. I'm going to try that, man. I got this boombox, it's got a tape recorder on it, and I tried it. And the place that I worked at, the owner, his dad had died in the warehouse. So I thought, oh, I got a chance. And I didn't get anything, but it was really cool, to try it. And then I watched Ghost Hunters a couple years before. They used some pretty cool things and applied some interesting techniques, kind of, it kind of filled the gaps in for us, I feel like, for Ghostbusters,
Yeah,
Right.
like
Yeah.
the original movie. It was like, what the hell is the PKE meter? It's supposed to be reading psychokinetic energy, but was it EMF actually? Who knows? But you could retcon it that way, sure. But yeah. So I was interested, obviously, since I was a kid. But yeah, I think it's that's kind of how I got into it. Was I wanted to see and experience what the sensitive people were seeing and experiencing,
quantify.
And, right. Yeah, I wanted to quantify it myself. Maybe not physically with some kind of physical evidence, but at least I could have a chance at hearing something with my own ears, or something with the senses that I have available. I wasn't really interested in proving it to the world or any of this stuff. Some people said, "Oh, I had this happen to me when I was 5. Now I have to prove to the world that paranormal activity exists."
Right.
So I don't have like a drive to prove it. I feel like it's probably not something that you could just prove. It's kind of like, oh, we're going to cure cancer. Okay, which cancer?
Right.
Wait, we already cured, but we didn't cure it. So it's like, it's such it's a blanket term, right? So the paranormal, you can't prove the paranormal. There's a lot of work that are done by a lot of serious people too, that's done, it's more like specific type research. But people work with like this group I've worked with, PRI. They use random number generators, and they're doing this experiment, and it's really cool. It's a lot to explain, or I'd unpack it for you. But and there's a lot of, and they actually published a paper recently. This was like it's published in a scientific journal on the work that they did, and they had some decent results, and it was cool to see that. But I feel like everybody's got their own kind of calling, something that you specify in, right? Like you can't just have a team full of 5 like evenly rounded, abilitied investigators just walking around with things in their hands, just doing this and talking. You have to have people like audiophiles. You have to have an audiophile.
You need your mage,
person.
you need your bard, you need your
right, or MMORPG. You gotta have your tank, you gotta have your caster, you gotta have a healer, a buffer. You gotta have all these people, right? You need all these things, and so a lot of people get caught up in just the investigator. It's like I wanted to have a niche thing, so I kind of used what little electronic background I had from working on vehicles in the military, and just started adding on to that. And I got to work with a few really cool and knowledgeable people, and they taught me a few things. And then I just, here I am, ended up here. So, I never meant to I never started out like, I'm going to make money on this or anything like that. 'Cause you damn sure ain't gonna make a lot of money on the paranormal.
right.
Well, if you can, I haven't figured it out yet, but I wouldn't be in this basement doing this.
Well,
try music, man. Try music.
Try music. It's not
it's
as
super
fun.
lucrative.
I tried to learn guitar when I was younger, but I never had anybody make me like stick with it. And I feel like, I love music. I'm a huge music fan, obviously, but I don't play any instruments, surprisingly. And I use all this audio stuff. It all just kind of fell in my lap. Just kind of, one thing led to another, and I'm having to do this and that. And the audio side is like, to me, the best evidence you can get.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get visual things, but it's always kind of it could go either way a lot of times. Sometimes you get pretty head on with some pictures or whatever, but rarely do you get full on video of full bodied apparitions or the things you want to see. So a lot of times that's why it's hard, man, because if it was easy, everybody'd do it. Right? So you have to,
Oh yeah,
it's the patience thing. But the audio side for me has produced the best results. So that's kind of what I went with, and just kind of went mostly all in on that.
One of the other things that I love about like the things that you've been involved in, and I've heard you in a couple of like other podcast episodes and stuff like that, and you talk about, oh well, it depends on what you're looking to accomplish here. But like for me, and I straight up, what got me into paranormal stuff is that stuff that used to be like, I just want to get evidence, so I'm going to provoke, and I'm going to just like get some evidence and get some evidence, no matter what the place is, stuff like that. But what I love about the things that you do, and Dave does, and Cindy does, Cindy Kaza, is that you guys try to get resolution from the information that you get.
Right.
And that's opened up like a whole, that I think that kind of approach to the paranormal has really opened up my wife and I to it, because like it's not just about the sideshow or the we're going to prove that this happens. It's like, cool, we're going to try and figure out what's happening here, what the reason is, why it's happening, and then we're going to try and like fix it.
Yeah, just do whatever if we feel like there's something needs to be done. You want to build like I agree. That's what I like doing with this whole thing. It's like you can go just collect random evidence, but it's not as it's satisfying when you get to put something together, when you get to piece something together like a puzzle, and all these pieces come together, and then you have times like like on when we were filming Devil's Perch, when me and Cindy are walking around and we're simultaneously getting the same things, but we're not in the same place. It's like she's in a different.
It's so cool.
And all those times we were definitely 100% like doing things at the same time, or hadn't seen each other in that block of time, and it was the same time block of that day. So, but most times, it was the same exact. I can't even think of one of the times that actually made it in where we were separate. But every time, like at the garden or the cabbage patch, we were out there same time. Like her and Dave in the shack, and I'm in a different shack. She's getting what she's getting. I'm getting what I'm getting. Then Dave goes down. That was pretty crazy to me to go back and watch it. It was one thing to see it and to know what happened, because you have to remember all this stuff, right? Like these investigations, it looks like 15 minutes of investigation, not even that probably on TV, right? But in reality, we were there for hours, man, for hours.
Yeah. It's edited down to the best 15, 20 minutes.
Right, yeah. They have to tell the whole story, like you said, and to do that, there's a lot of reenactment stuff that has to be done, and Dave goes in with his golden voice and does all his narrating. and that's his thing, man. And mine is just I'm there probably country comedy effect a little bit. And
I never once did I get that.
Sure you didn't.
You. No, never once, dude. Never
it's
once.
All right. It's all right. I'm good with that. I'm used to being the only person in the room with a South Carolina accent. So it's
man.
Hey, my parents live in South Carolina now, so it's all right.
I'm from Indiana. Levity is the most important part of any story.
But I just like I love that whole approach, like the storytelling approach, the history approach, and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like it.
I started in with like that. oh shit, they got a voice. Oh shit, they get this and this. But now that we've watched almost every show at this point on Discovery Plus, like the that kind of stuff really, really, really brings me in, and I really enjoy it. Like
it was
even
it was
like
definitely. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
I'm gonna say it was definitely a crazy ride. It was 3 months, so it was crazy. It was a nonstop kind of. Well, we'd take a week off every once in a while, but it was like it went by fast, but it didn't. It felt like we lived there almost by the time we were done. So and I stayed there the entirety of the 3 months. I would drive down to Bozeman every once in a while, visit my friend at the Radio Shack. But outside of that, I stayed in Butte, man.
Nice.
But anyway,
yeah. So one thing I do want to ask you, and we are getting Dave Schrader on eventually, and I'm gonna get to ask him this myself. But again, Jen and I we've watched stuff with Dave in the past. He shows up on set with a bolo tie and a vest. Did you laugh?
He does.
Did you laugh the first time?
No,
because I know I'm gonna tell you what, I certainly did.
Well,
I was like, wait, Dave Schrader, what are you doing, Dave Schrader?
No, I think with Dave, I don't know. Maybe I listened to him for so long, like when he did Coast to Coast, and then I listened to his podcast. Used to be pretty regular. I don't get to listen much anymore, but like I just kind of it didn't surprise me. I was good with that. I was like, okay, it's Dave.
No, see, it took
and
me
then
off
Cindy
guard
seemed
because
like really tall to me, but she's not. She's like tiny.
Yeah. I mean, so Dave, I've seen him in a bunch of things, right? And I never saw him in a bolo tie or anything like that. I've listened to his podcast and stuff, and then all of a sudden I saw the bolo tie and the vest, and I was like, Dave, you wear a sweatshirt.
It's like an eccentric thing,
with the skull.
You know what I mean? It's like an eccentric thing.
I get it.
When you have eccentric people, you just kind of expect. I would have been weirded out had he not shown up in a bolo tie.
See? Really?
I
saw him before that. I saw him before that.
He's just different. I'm different. You can usually tell people like us, that do. Some would say weird things. We're all different.
All right, do you wear a bolo tie?
Eccentric. I'm not eccentric because I don't have enough money to be eccentric, but I do not wear a bolo tie.
Okay.
I wore one in the senior
I'm
picture.
just crazy. I'm not eccentric yet. Well, maybe one day I'll be eccentric.
I have a senior picture in high school where I have a bolo tie on.
Oh, dude, did you have a duster too?
I didn't have a duster.
That would have been perfect.
I did have a bolo tie. And a really terrible ponytail. Like tight. Like a tight.
But I expected that though with the bolo. See,
right?
You gotta
go all the way.
In high school. That's why I would have guessed I'd have been dead on with the. See, now
the only thing it was missing was some turquoise stonage.
Oh, that would have been nice.
It's the only thing that was missing.
Of course.
I have a question for you. My question for you is so when you
professional real quick.
So in your
I have a legitimate question.
In all the evidence and things that you've collected, do you remember the first time that you got something where it really kind of like turned your corner from this is a possibility to holy shit, I believe this? Or were you always kind of like all in?
Well, okay. So I did have a couple personal experiences, like with a ghost box.
Okay.
Like when I, not so much when I was just first starting out and I was using I had a little shack hack. And this was it hasn't been that long ago, 2016.
Okay.
2015. 2015 probably was when I got the shack hack. I got out of the Army in 2014. So yeah, 2015. And, I had a shack hack and like an SB7 and I got an SB11. I was like, yeah, these are okay, but it's not like what I'm looking for. So I made one. And the only way I could figure out how to do it at the time was to make it I couldn't figure out how to electronically modify the circuit board on a radio. So what I did was I built a circuit and that would turn a servo back and forth, the amount of turns that I needed to turn on a radio that I had, and it was an antique radio, and the servo would spin it, the tuning knob, until it went all the way to the end, and it would stop, and it would turn the other way. So I was sweeping up and down mechanically, and it was a very interesting sound. And I guess the thing that really made me like believe there might be something to it, and see how powerful it was just to other people who heard things in it, was there was a guy who came to my house one day, and he was a door-to-door salesman. He was selling magazines, and he came to the door. I opened the door, talked to him for a minute. Big dude, big dude. He looked like oh my God, what's his name? I'll think of his name in a minute. Anyway, he was selling magazines, and damn it, that's gonna bother me. He was selling magazines, and he had just got out of Terry Crews. Jesus Christ,
Terry Crews. Okay.
He was selling magazines. He'd just like gotten out of prison or something like that. He was a super nice dude, and he had me to get. I was like, "Yeah, man." So I had just built this ghost box, and he's like telling me what his story or whatever. I was like, "Dude, that's cool. You're trying to do something with yourself now." And he heard it going in the background. He's like, "What in the world is that I hear in there?" And I was like, "It's," told him what it was. And he says, "Can I check it out?" I said, "Yeah, come on in, dude." So we're in there, and he sits down with the ghost box. And he's like, "So how do you use it?" And I told him, "Well, theoretically, you can speak to the dead or things that you can't see, supernatural, paranormal things, and they're supposed to speak back to you, maybe give you a message." And so he says, the dude says, "No, he's not a ghost hunter or anything." He goes, "Hello, is anybody there?" And a voice came through. And it said, "I'm here, son." And dude starts crying. And then she said a word to him. I can't remember what the word was, but she said a word that he said that she called him that only he would know. I'm getting chills right now.
Oh, shit.
Probably can't see my goosebumps, but yeah, man, it's crazy. The dude, he's burst into tears, man. Grown ass Terry Crews sized dude, just crying his eyes out at my kitchen table over this ghost box and what it told him. And I guess that was when I first realized like how powerful like a specific message for a person can be. Like, because had he not been in there and I just had it going, that would have been nothing to me.
Right.
But for him, that was like some kind of closure.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because he didn't get to see her when she died. And so, like, dude friended me on, and I still talk to that dude occasionally. He's cool, and he's doing well. And so, man, but that was nuts. That was so nuts to see that, and to see how powerful that was for them. So that had me chasing, chasing that again. Yeah,
that had to be crazy.
Yeah, and at the time I wasn't thinking, okay, I'm gonna record this for TikTok or whatever.
Right.
This is like 2000, late 2015.
That's crazy. That's really so cool.
Yeah,
it was a crazy story, and that's what put me in the okay. I'm just gonna kind of go in believing like that the place is haunted. I'm not the guy who comes in and you tell me you're having knocking in your ceiling, and I crawl up there with a flashlight and look, "Oh, what you got here is your plumbing pipes running right over this board."
Right.
And when the pressure kicks up, I'm not doing that. I'm going in and I try and assess the situation. I don't do home cases anymore, but when I did, I would try and assess the situation, talk to the person, listen to what they had happen to them. Obviously, if there's something obvious going on, but usually people don't call you to their house because they have a water pipe water hammering in the
right.
Yeah,
they've looked for that first already. Yeah,
hopefully. No, there's a few outliers that are just it's a demon.
Yeah, there's always people just out there figuring shit out.
It's water. It's water and copper.
Pretty deep out there.
Have you ever been in a situation that you can remember where you legitimately felt like it was a dangerous situation that you kind of like needed to get out of?
There was this one place. Well, there's been several times, but usually it's because of the living people that,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? So non-living people,
Right.
like, right, you know, because there's a lot of really sketchy places out there that you probably shouldn't be in the middle of the night investigating and whatever. It's probably not good. But, you know, so I've been places like that. But the most like scary paranormal thing that like, it was in St. Joseph, Missouri. And it was a house called it was McNeely House, and most people don't know about it. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to put the address. I don't want anybody going like tearing the place up. But it's an old house and it's huge. And this house used to be a forensic psychiatric ward.
Okay.
So it was pretty. There's a lot of weird stuff went on there, and it operated all the way up until 2012, and then they shut it down. And we came in 2018, not 17, 18, one, two, and investigated it. Just me and Katie, me and my wife, Katie. My wife's name's Katie. And so just me and her, and it was 18 degrees, no heat. There was power in like the kitchen area, and that was it. And this place was huge. And the basement was so freaking crazy. Like, I felt like somebody was down there with me, even though I knew nobody was down there. And we had checked the whole, like, the real estate agent lady walked us through the whole place.
Right.
And we checked all the entrances and exits and everything. I made sure everything was locked, and I'll let them out and lock the door behind them. And so we were in there completely alone, but it felt like, you ever seen the movie Children Under the Stairs?
People under the stairs.
People under the stairs, yeah. Dude, that's what it felt like. It felt like there's somebody like in the walls watching you, or like, it was like a psychological haunting type thing for
Right.
It was crazy. You know, I didn't think about it till later, but it was messing with my head. Like, it had us like we were terrified to like even leave the same room together. And normally we're not like that, especially me. And so to have me bugged out like that was pretty crazy. And I mean, I'll still go back there. There's not a place I wouldn't go back just because there's never been a place that I just ran out of screaming, can't take it. That's what I always tell people. Like, you have to, if you're like going to do this and really pursue it, you have to be willing to put yourself in that kind of situation, because that's when things will reveal themselves to you a lot of times.
Right.
You got to be vulnerable, right?
Is when you're at your most vulnerable and you let your guard down. You get your senses heightened, you know. A lot of times being in the dark, a lot of people say, oh, why you always go so in the dark? It's for the night vision green, bro. We can't be like Zach if we don't, you know. So but also what it does provide is it's not quite, but it's almost as good as sensory deprivation. So you're depriving yourself of your what you can see, right? So your other senses are going to automatically kick up a little bit. So you hear a little bit better,
right?
Your sense of touch goes up dramatically. So yeah, I think that's a big deal. But that place was like so trippy, dude. And like things were happening, like we would both see things that happened, but it didn't happen. Like we were sitting there watching the DVR camera. We had everything wired up into the kitchen because it was a tiny kitchen, little bitty tiny. It was like 10 by 12 kitchen. And we had all our stuff just crammed in there. We had this little space heater, and the rest of the house was pretty much dead. And so we're in there watching the DVR cameras that I set up all over the house. And this one camera, we both saw it and reacted simultaneously. Something that looked like a child or like a short person, short enough to be shorter than the camera on the tripod, just pops up, and you just see like that top of their head, their hair, just kind of pop up like that. And that was it. And we both freaked out. And you know, like I ran down, checked it. There's nobody, nothing down there. The camera was fine, same place. Came back, rewound it, and it's not there. So how do we both see that and react to that? And see, but most of your experiences are going to be like that. The only way the only way we would have actually captured our response is had somebody else been recording us.
Right.
So it's the psychological hauntings are the hardest ones. I feel like the ones that really get in your head and like really stoke some kind of fear in you, because there's nothing like, I don't want to go back down in that basement. You know, there's no feeling like that. Like you just do not want to go back into a spot, even though your logical brain is telling you that there can't be anybody down there. There's no way there's anybody down there. You walked over the whole place. Nobody's came in since then. But yeah, so that's my scariest thing.
Wow.
That's
kind
of
awesome.
Long. Sorry.
No, that's awesome. That's
dude,
awesome.
Like, we don't care. Yeah, we don't care. We're here.
We talked about X-Men and Deadpool for an hour. We're
happy. We're happy about that.
This is good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad with that too. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so cool. Like, so Jen and I and Jim and I actually. So Jen and I want to get into a little bit of paranormal investigation stuff. Mm-hmm. Jim and I actually might get to do something.
I can't wait. I would love to.
So a family friend, we're going to Atlanta in the next couple of weeks, and she just bought a house on sight unseen. She bought a house in Atlanta on Civil War battleground.
Oh, nice. It's hard not to buy a house in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, every bit of ground.
Everything was fine. Everything was fine. She ripped up carpet. And the second she ripped up carpet, all bets were off. And then she redid a bathroom. More stuff. I guess Taps is in there doing stuff. Yeah. So she was like, hey, I think it would be really funny if you and Jim did a paranormal investigation.
I don't know about funny.
Yeah.
Well, not funny for y'all, but funny for your viewers.
Right, yeah, maybe.
Watch you scream like a girl.
Well, the fact that we don't know the first thing about doing a paranormal investigation.
But like,
it's usually not that terrifying. Most times it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say that. But when you do, but it's the times that it's not that really, really gets you. But the majority of it is like so boring. But hey, it's part of the job.
It's all part of the job, right?
And
but like, what would you say? What piece of equipment is like the most valuable? Because I mean, like we've had Patty Negri on, and she was like, "Oh, use the rods, the dowsing rods."
Or dowsing rod. Okay, that's a good.
She said dowsing rods. But what is like? We don't have a big budget. So like, what do you think?
Yeah, wait, we have a budget? When did that change?
What's our budget?
What do you think is like?
Happy we have one.
Holy shit!
There's space for it on the spreadsheet now.
Thanks, Manscaped.
What do you think is like that piece of equipment is going to make all the difference?
Well, cameras aren't a huge deal anymore because our phones are so good.
Yeah,
you know. If you're looking to record audio for EVP, then I would, a recorder is always an audio recorder of some sort is always best. Your phone also has one of those, so that will kind of serve as the dual purpose. I will say though that they don't have the quality. Like if you're looking to take paranormal pictures or get weird, like really weird EVPs based on the electronic noise, you're gonna want to try and get unique cameras for those things. Like,
right.
I recommend. I shouldn't even tell you guys this because I can't buy them all up then. But all the turn of the technology era, for digital recorders, like when they were going from tape dictaphones to digital dictaphones. I think all that's great. It all's got this really grainy kind of lo-fi sound quality, and there's a lot of artifacting and stuff. And sometimes with some of your recorders, like with your DR60, and that's like a legendary one, this Panasonic DR60. Yeah. They sell them for like $2,000 right on eBay or whatever. Some of them $6,000. There's no way in the world I'd pay that much for one of those. But they do provide, they do produce some interesting results. And a lot of times it's not for the reasons that you thought it was, but you still can't deny their weird ability to get crazily specific EVPs on command.
Right.
So that's undeniable. You can chalk it up to whatever you want, but I would say for me, it's going to be a ghost box.
Yeah, I've got a hold on. I've got a Zoom. And I've seen them on
Zoom.
a few episodes.
I have a Zoom too.
How are
those are great for recording
VH6.
audio for a movie or for a band, or you know, if you're recording your audio like over your voice for
It's too
video,
clear, right?
Yeah, it's way too clear. The newer, more especially more expensive, high quality recorders are built to filter out all these things that shouldn't be there.
Right.
So you know what I mean.
So that's why
That's why the
software
DR60
in
was
them
such a
and
big thing.
Right.
You know.
right.
I
There's that
I
turn
have
of
one
the
of
technology
those,
era.
little things. I'll dig it up from the right above us.
If
Is
you have
like
a
loft.
DR60, let's sell it and buy like 3.
Dude, yeah.
other
If
things.
you got a DR60,
I
sell
don't think
it.
I have a DR60.
Buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I got some kind of like Radio Shack recorder.
I heard about the
Sony.
DR60 through a podcast that I listened to called Astonishing Legends, where they go through a lot of different things, everything from like historical things to hauntings to
Devices.
cryptozoology to devices to just regular history to Oak Island to like all kinds of stuff. And they got one, and they were talking about they did something at the Sally House, and they got some crazy things over there.
You know, I know that dude.
Yeah,
I know that Tony Pickman. Yeah, I know him.
Tony Pittman. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Interesting story over there.
I've heard some. Yeah. It's a crazy story over there, and shout out to Astonishing Legends.
Yeah.
So check out their
And
well, there's a
series
buy
on
it
Sally
now.
House. It's great.
Hold on, there's a
Right.
buy it now. A buy it now for a DR60.
Only $4,000.
Only
is that it? Well, we have inflation. So
$999.
it was 2,000. Now it's $4,000.
Yeah.
Somebody must have destroyed a couple of them and driven the value up.
Good thing here at Bacon.
Put them inside of an epoxy coffee table or something with their old
All the cool
vintage
shit.
electronics. So all their hipster buddies can sit around it and drink beers,
Right.
Well,
craft beers.
Artisanal craft beers.
Thank goodness you're on Bacon is My Podcast, where we have sponsors.
We have podcast money.
Oh, cool.
We have sponsors, and one of those sponsors is
That must be nice.
Pod Decks.
Yeah, man. We get about 5 cents every 3 months.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's
It's almost as rewarding as
walking
being
around
a
money.
musician.
That is walking around.
Dude,
money.
that's what I say about this. I'm like a I'm like a band.
Yeah,
It's like crash landing in
Yeah,
each
man.
gig. Just wings
exactly.
off. Like running out of gas. I'm running low on full fuel.
Dude,
I'm coming in hot. You land at the next freaking hotel. You're
That's what I was
broke,
saying
and it's
earlier
Like, okay,
about-
then you re-up and then you go out again.
Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier about how like pro wrestlers and us and like you, like the things we do all kind of like work together. You have to have a similar mindset and drive.
Yeah, there's like an entertainment factor in there also to keep people like into it, you know. So
100%.
I agree with that. I love that bottle too, dude. That's so damn cool.
Oh, this is
It's like it should have a little flame, like a Bunsen burner under it.
So-
and a
so
coil
Jen-
coming out.
Jen.
It's got a ship in
It's
it.
got a
I
glass
see
ship.
that.
Right.
That
It
is
is,
so cool, man.
It is not an old wooden ship,
Yeah,
but it is a ship.
this is
that
the
would
diversity
rot.
too.
Maybe I don't know.
Oh.
Probably not.
Oh, this is the diversity too, because the diversity one, Jimmy broke it.
I just put floor ice in your glass.
Damn it, Jimmy.
Oh, thanks.
I do like the I don't even drink that much, but I do like the Dan Aykroyd Skull vodka bottle.
Oh yeah. I've
The
heard.
Crystal
I've
Skull,
heard that.
dude, that thing is so cool looking. I almost bought a bottle of it just to have the bottle.
I have a small one just to have the bottle. And the cool thing is that you can fill it with
Spores, molds, or fungus.
sports molds or
You could do
fungus.
that, sure.
Indeed.
You could build a ship inside of it if you
You could
wanted
build a
to.
ship inside of it, or you could fill it with seltzer, and it will glow under a black light.
Oh, I would have said water, and then you could take like a fluorescent marker and dunk it in there.
Yeah.
Well, club soda, not seltzer, but club soda actually, because of whatever they add to it, it will glow blue under a black light. without
Damn,
doing
that's
it.
like
Interesting.
radium or something, right, man?
Yeah, man.
Probably.
my buddy and mentor Greg Myers, the head of PTF Paranormal Task Force in Missouri. They do great events. Check them out on Facebook.
Nice.
But yeah, so he recently gave me an old Ouija board from if I was at the shop, I'd show it to you. But it's an old 1944 Ouija board.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And it's got like a genie on it at the top and stuff. And yeah, it's weird, dude. And it says glow in the dark and and then so it actually glows in the dark from 1944. Now, what do you think made it glow in the dark?
Oh yeah.
Radium paint.
Radium paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Don't lick it. KD,
Too
don't lick
late.
it.
Do you eat lead paint?
I was like, what does
You eat a lot of
radiation
paint
taste
chips?
like?
Maybe.
Do you eat a lot of paint chips as a kid?
Perhaps. That being
Paint
said,
chip? I just thought they were regular chips. They told me they were Fritos.
They
you
were
never
flat.
know.
They were crunchy.
I was like, why don't these Lay's is it the Lay's or the other ones?
These
Shit.
Lay's
Pringles?
taste- these
Pringles.
Lay's taste
Why don't
weird.
these Pringles have ridges?
Oh no, the ripples.
Ruffles.
Ruffles
have ridges.
That's right. Pringles
Ruffles have
don't
ridges.
have. God dang it. Ruffles have ridges.
Well, they're a potato product.
Yeah.
not-
They are.
Pringles,
yes.
Pringles are crisps, not even chips.
a chip like food.
Yes.
chip-esque.
Chip. This very
Yes.
chip-esque.
Chip-esque.
All right. So we've got Pod Decks. Pod Decks is a company that puts out decks of cards that has 50 cards within each deck, and then within each Stop that. within each 50 cards within each deck, and then within each card is a fun question, which could be
nice.
anything from super benign and okay, and also like you don't
Super
fucking know me.
sketchy.
You don't fucking know me.
sketchy.
It could. It could
So
be.
Mega sketch.
What
It
we
could be that's hilarious, or it could be what did you just say to me?
What'd you say about my mama?
Right.
exactly.
Could happen.
So
That's why he has me read them.
That's why I have him read them.
It's okay.
Yeah, he's the sacrificial lamb.
Right. Yes.
So what we like to have our guests do is pick a deck, and
I
then
feel
we'll
like
pick
that's
a random
album
question.
name. Sorry.
Right.
Pick a deck.
Pick a deck.
No, sacrificial lamb. Anyway,
Sacrificial
go ahead.
lamb.
Oh,
Sorry.
it is.
It
I have ADD. I'm easily
That's all
distracted.
right.
Carry on.
Welcome
Carry
to the
on,
show.
sir.
All of us. All of
So
us.
we have the interview deck 2, episode deck. Would you rather? What the heck? What the fuck? And how dare you?
Right.
Which
Hmm.
deck would you like to pick from, sir?
Oh shit. Okay, you know what? I've never been a sissy, so let's go with the how dare you.
How
I feel
dare
like
you?
I feel like that's extra hard mode.
I like it.
It
Well,
could be,
or it could
it
be
also
like
could be like
it could be like that's lame.
that was shitty.
Don't give
But
me
we'll
a
try.
lame one, Mike.
We'll try. Mike is going to shuffle these so you get a random. And
Take
while
that.
Mike,
I
one
like
out.
random.
all right. And while Mike shuffles, I will tell everybody to go to poddex.com. Like I said, they sponsor the show. I mean, we don't really, like I said, 5 cents every couple of months.
A little bit.
So we're not making money off them, but we do really enjoy their cards. They are good. They are a good tension breaker. They're a good
Icebreakers.
icebreaker. And they also
If you didn't have verbal diarrhea like we do,
yes, absolutely.
they're great.
They have all
Right.
different kinds of decks. You can check those out. They have an app if you'd rather not handle physical things. If you don't like being handed stuff like Tony Stark, that could be a thing. They also have T-shirts that do not scratch your nipples,
Like
which is
this
an
one.
important thing to buy on a site. Anything that you do decide to purchase from their site, please use the promo code BACON,
Because everything is better with bacon.
and you get 10% off of your entire order.
Everything, even bacon is good with bacon.
Even
Right?
bacon is good with bacon. Bacon crusted bacon.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
There you go.
So we're gonna fan these bad boys out.
Here we go.
Here,
I'm
sir.
going to start at my
All
left,
right,
your
let's
right,
do it.
going to your right, my left, and you tell me when to stop, and that will be your question, sir.
Stop
Stopping right here.
just past center.
Just past center. All right, this could be interesting, or it could be an answer you already gave us. What was your worst workplace experience?
That's a good question, Jimmy. I'm gonna have to go with when I worked at Animal Control. and we had a lady that she got a little elderly, and she had a lot of pets, and those pets had multiplied over the years, and she had started kind of losing it a little bit too. And I don't mean to make fun of the mentally ill, but she did kind of take a villainous direction with it. She started putting them in cages, like out in the yard, and it was really weird, man. It was just so weird. There was like dead cat layers in the bathroom, like stacked up.
Oh my God.
In the bathtub. Yeah, one entire room was devoted to being a litter box. The outside there was cages like for probably 25 yards with cats in them. And some of the cats had it was kind of like Night of the Living Dead-ish a little bit. Yeah. Some of the cats and chickens that were in the cages had tried to get out of the cages so bad they had rubbed part of their faces off.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
So that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hey, you freaking ass, man. You said,
yeah, man.
They should have a disclaimer on there like, careful what you wish for.
Hey, man,
we said that.
We never would have got that answer had we not.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see something else you didn't know about me. I used to be an animal control officer.
There you go.
That's so where are you at now? Where are you living?
I live in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Missouri or Missouri?
Well, I'm not from here, so for me it's Missouri.
Okay. All right.
I don't get it. Well, sometimes, a lot of times, yes. And then sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm glad I ain't in South Carolina right now, because boy, is it hot down there.
Gets hot there,
dude. My parents live in they're right outside of North Carolina. They're in like the Fort Mill Indian Land area.
Okay, I grew up in Greenville-ish area.
Okay, yeah. Jen wants to look at that area.
Nice.
Upstate.
Yeah. So
nice.
like
Spartanburg, Greenville, Anderson area.
Yeah. So I'm down. I'm in the Carolinas quite a bit. I work for my parents as well. So like I'm there all the time. It's a not my
actually,
thing. We're in New York.
It doesn't get any hotter there than it does here. I find that to be weird. And then I guess the thing I do miss the most probably about South Carolina, weather-wise, would be the winters are nice. Actually, like you think they suck when you're in them, but it's like, man, go up north a little ways. Indiana, for example.
Dude, we're in New York.
Indiana sucks.
Like
in New York,
January through beginning of March. Awful.
Forget about it.
Awful.
Forget about it. Yeah, I know, right?
I try to every year.
Forget about it.
Yes. Every time I leave New York, I try and forget my way back.
Yeah. But it was better than Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's
I haven't been to New York. I haven't physically experienced New York's cold myself yet, but I've been in some pretty weird cold. Afghanistan cold was cold, man, because the wind was constantly blowing. And so it always felt like it was 20 degrees colder than it actually was to me. Everybody's like, oh, it's a dry cold. Yeah. When the wind's not cutting through you.
See, cold, dry heat, that's much bullshit.
Dry cold.
I don't know the heat thing. I get that. I feel that because with a dry heat, you could walk under a shade and the temperature changes.
That's true.
In South Carolina,
I can take the desert way more than the swamp.
It's all humid.
Yeah.
It's just humid everywhere you go. You're stuck to yourself, clothes, everything. Right. But the winters are great because the winters are kind of like the falls here. So I like that.
Yeah, we're like supposed to be in fall right now, but nights are getting at like 20.
Yeah.
It's
one thing
that's too cold. That's too cold for October. I'm sorry, but like 20.
Yeah. No.
Damn.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're totally right.
But then it's
for me. I grew up growing up in South Carolina.
Right.
Like Indiana, one thing I've never gotten in New York that I used to get in Indiana every winter, and I'm sure is still there, is that like the ice that surrounds the tree. So that you look at a tree and it's like it looks like glass branches. Because it's completely surrounded all the way around in like a good inch of ice that goes all the way around it. I used to get every year, and I haven't achieved that yet here in New York, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, because it takes a little bit. Well, yeah, that used to happen inside. That's like the humidity thing, right?
Yeah,
like, sort of.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's the humidity thing cause it. Yeah, see, I had two choices when I moved back stateside when I left Germany in the army, and they were like, okay, son, you can either go to, okay, wait for it, Fort Drum, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, what's the other one? I'm going there.
Or yeah. What's option
Fort
B?
Polk or Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah, Fort Drum, New York, or Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Those are two
Fort Drum.
Those are two very different climates.
Yeah.
Extreme opposites,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah. Upstate New York. No, that's not somewhat. It's
Right.
Upstate
I was like,
New York
Fort Drum, what's up with that? Like, I haven't heard much about Fort Drum. They were like, yeah, that's where we send the guys that are stationed in Alaska to do their cold weather training. Then they just like, sign it. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to Fort Polk.
I like voodoo and Cajun food.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's where I got my first taste of voodoo. I thought that was so cool, so I named it Ghost Box after the voodoo thing. So
Oh yeah, which ghost box did you?
the Legba box, Papa Legba, inspired by Papa Legba, the mediator between the world of the living and the Loa, or the other side.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Very cool.
I love it, man. I love what you do. I love like the technical side of it. I'm not an engineer, but I'm an audio guy, so like I love messing with that stuff. And what you do is very close to what I do when I'm trying to make voices decent.
Yeah.
So
yeah. There's a lot of people that have that crossover music. Oh, excuse me.
No, go for
it. They have like a crossover. They're audiophiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they get into like weird music usually, or they're musicians themselves. I was neither, so it just struck a chord with me. I think it was the radio thing initially.
Yeah.
And then when I really started cracking open the electronic side of it, that's when it just kind of all opened up to me, and I was like, okay, I can try all these different things. But the audiophile side is important because of the nature of, like I said, audio evidence. So much more common, prevalent than anything else is, in my opinion. So yeah, you want to know how to filter things out, and it also, a lot of people think you may have this other extra electronic psychic ability, right? That we really didn't. That's kind of what I think sometimes, because some people won't hear the things I hear, but then it turns out to be, something, right? And
real,
I didn't really set out to do it this way, but I like to go into investigations not knowing what's the history. Mm-hmm. I don't shield myself from it. So if I hear a name or something, I'm fine with it. But, usually most places, unless the name of the place precedes it or whatever, you don't know much about them. You just kind of go in. You don't know the whole history of the place or whatever. You might know when the place was built or whatever, but, I didn't know much about it. And it was kind of by accident. I just wasn't prepared. But I ended up getting a lot of good results not being prepared, because when you prepare yourself, you kind of set yourself up looking for this one specific thing.
Right. I think, that makes a lot of sense to me. Because
so we do.
you would think that if you go into a place and names and situations and things that happened, you're going to walk in with those kind of preconceived ideas, and you're going to look for those things, and you're either going to miss things because you're not open to them, or you're going to mistake things because you're attaching something that you want to hear, or at least you can be looked at as you were looking for that and you wanted to hear it.
Right.
Versus going in blind and being like, here's the things I heard, and then finding out that they match up to things. It's like, holy shit, that's a much bigger kind of proof of concept to me. Anyway, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. And also, the validation, it validates things as an extra layer of validation, because if you didn't know this thing coming in, regardless, like I said, I'm not out trying to prove things to skeptics or whatever. because I was highly skeptical when I came into the whole thing, like doing like going full on going on investigations and stuff. I was highly skeptical myself. As part of what pushed me into it, but I wasn't so much skeptical of the paranormal as a whole. I was skeptical of people who made claims of the paranormal.
Right.
But I've kind of come to just accept people's stories they tell me, and I learned how important that is. And also at the same time, you want to use your critical thinking skills. I'm not just going to believe you. If you tell me the moon's made of freaking cheese. So, but I like to get something myself to tell me the moon's made of cheese.
Right.
And then, but it's kind of you could go either way. It just kind of depends on what kind of research, I guess, you're doing, what you're doing it for. Like if you're trying to get hard-nosed, repeatable things, then maybe you might want to know the history before you go in. If you're only going to get one chance to go in, you just kind of want to open yourself up and try a different side of the investigation thing, and maybe have a personal experience or capture a personal experience, then it's kind of a different approach, I feel like. Because you're not really.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see the things that I got and the things that Cindy got. Like I said before, simultaneously, she was getting things using her psychic abilities, and I was getting things with a ghost box that were just kind of matching up. Or sometimes they would be things that were legitimate to the location, but they wouldn't drive in the same direction. So those things obviously would be left out. But the times that we were on were on point.
That's
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Because you got to think, if you do an 8-hour investigation, 15 minutes, or 6-hour or 8-hour investigation, 15 minutes of it's only on TV. There's tons of stuff that you get that's obviously doesn't make it to the floor.
Either all night or all week.
Or
all day,
makes it on the floor and not in the cut.
Right.
Yeah. You want to finish up here?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've taken up a lot of your time. I'm going to steer us away from this and go to some general questions that
do it.
Just because of the time of year that we're in and the time of year that this is going to air, we're trying to.
I do not like pumpkin spice lattes.
Nor do I.
I thought you were going to ask me that because friggin' everybody's asking that question.
I will say this. I don't like pumpkin spice. I like pumpkin flavor.
Pumpkin flavor's okay. I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go out of my way to put pumpkins in everything I eat, though.
Right.
No. No, but it's got to be done right.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think is more? What do you think is more over promoted unnecessarily? And we're going to go November, December here. We're going to go pumpkin spice, November's obvious overblown thing, or peppermint mocha, which is December's overblown thing.
Well, I'm going to be biased because I like peppermint mocha.
I do too, yeah.
But I don't like peppermint mocha flavored drinks. I like peppermint mocha, like chocolate peppermint.
Yeah.
That is like the best thing in the world. So if I had to choose between that or pumpkin spice latte flavored latte, I'm going to go with peppermint mocha. But I will drink a peppermint mocha like from Starbucks or whatever coffee.
Me too. Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah. I'll take that one.
Yeah, I like that.
And then the other one is which holiday? Because we're like in between a couple of them. I tend to think of Thanksgiving as the day
that's
he loves Thanksgiving.
That's my deal.
I like Thanksgiving too. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think Thanksgiving is the day that is where you go, okay, I got to take the bats down and I can start putting up the jingle bells. Right?
See,
that's
for me. I mean, I love Christmas. Don't get me wrong, but I guess I like the spooky side of Christmas. I feel like there's a lot of Christmas that's like spooky, right? There's always this spooky kind of like
you go back far enough, everything's
Danny Elfman,
right,
kind of vibe to it. Those are always my favorite like Christmas movies, or like my favorite scene in the Santa Claus is when he kills Santa Claus. So it's kind of dark.
It's a good scene.
It is a great scene, but like I'm gonna say Halloween's my favorite.
So what holiday do you think has the best food associated?
And it's not a holiday, I know, but I don't care.
No, I dig it.
Should be.
Samhain, man. Samhain.
Yeah, there you go.
What holiday or time of year do you think has the best food associated with it? Like Halloween.
Oh, the best food
candy.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with the food, like main course food. I'm gonna say Christmas.
Okay.
Desserts, Thanksgiving. Because you got all the fancy pies, you got
that's a good take.
pie.
That's a good take on that. You got fresh
Sweet
fruits
potato
and stuff then
pie.
too.
Yeah,
See,
apple pie. It's all fresh.
I'm a blueberry pie guy.
Oh, I love blueberry pie,
Oh,
blueberry
so
cobbler.
yeah,
it's
so
all
good.
Why I
So
love
good.
Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. That's my holiday. It's like no expectations except like, what do you bring to the table? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do that in the morning. And then we can get to where we got to go. And I can start drinking a little bit. And then we can eat all the things, right? And then dessert comes out. And because I'm not expected to make the dessert, because baking is the hardest thing, right?
True. Yeah.
Baking
sucks.
Bacon.
Yeah, me too. Like
science.
I can cook.
I'm not a science
I can cook
guy.
the fuck out of anything.
I hate math.
Right?
Yeah, I can steam. I could grill. I can friggin'
Right.
smoke things. But I can't. But
exactly.
you ask me to bake a cake, and I'll destroy it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
So when that's all done for me, I'm done. Like I'm done.
Yeah, I'm kind of done too. But I don't do much of the cooking anymore. I used to deep fry turkey every Thanksgiving.
My brother did that.
Man,
yeah.
deep fried turkey is pretty. You ever do a turducken?
Yeah. No, I never did that. Never did a turducken.
I've never seen one for real.
To.
I've seen one.
I heard about that. Is that actually a thing you can do?
It's.
I didn't know that. I didn't know people really did it.
It was a thing for a while. I don't know if it's still
a
thing. No, it used to be a thing. Like back when it was like a thing.
Right.
I thought that was like spam.
Can you then put it in a deer?
you
put it in a deer and then put it in a cow.
Yeah,
right.
I guess you could. That would be. I guess so.
Good night, bud.
Oh, the sun's saying goodnight.
Oh, nice.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man?
They said, "What's up?" Wave at him.
What's up, dude? Welcome to the show.
His name's Logan. All right,
Logan.
Okay, good night. He's got ADD worse than me. Let him be on his way.
Dude,
he's on point.
It's all good, dude.
I
got kids too.
We're all traveling. We're all slowly walking through that trail.
Man.
Fingers crossed. My kids are my close to sleep, if not asleep right now.
Yeah, he's on point though. It's 8:20. Oh yeah, he's doing good. So I'm not complaining. I'm gonna let him roll. I'm not gonna hold him up.
All right, I got one more question. My last one for you, and then we're gonna let you go. We're gonna let you get to bed.
This is tough.
What's up?
What is scarier? And the second part is, what is the bigger threat? The paranormal or AI?
Well, I don't see in our future any kind of Gozer-like event happening. In which case, that would be, I feel like, the more imminent danger. But I do feel like, however, the singularity is probably the closer danger. Right, like when AI becomes aware and everything. So, I don't know, man. Have you guys like watched the chatbots talk back and forth to each other on YouTube? That's weird. It's oddly like you get drawn in. It's just two stupid chatbots talking back and forth to each other, but they're like going off they're feeding off of each other. It's freaking hilarious.
Dude, you know what I saw? I saw the Spider-Man animatronic from Disneyland.
Oh.
And I saw a robot climbing up walls, making human motions to people, doing flips, swinging on webs.
I was showing
I was like,
Jen,
this is the face of my destroyer.
So Jen and
I you destroy yourself because it's not even really there, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's like, well, what's going on?
We were in Disneyland, right?
Dude.
We were in Disneyland.
Spider-Man
Disney World,
is fucking Skynet.
Rather. This week, and I was like, "This is I want to go to Disneyland because of this." And I showed her. She's like, "That's a person." I'm like, "It's not.
It's not a person.
It's not."
Dude,
she's like, "But it looks
AI
like
does
a
lot
person."
of
It's
things.
like it's a person. It's
Have you seen the art? Have you seen the AI art? Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, It
It's
looks like
nuts,
some
dude.
original, like stylized. A lot of it's like has its own style, like a person, like a genius, like some unknown genius out there just painted up this picture or whatever,
Yep.
and you just tell it what you want in it, and it just like says, okay, I'm going to do this, and spits it out.
Dude, it's
And
crazy.
it's scary that they can mimic our creativity. You know what I mean? Like there's superhero name generators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you
Right.
just plug in what their abilities are and something else about them, and pop out with a name. And I thought that was the most interesting like application for that I could think of, would be just something as small as just generating a superhero name. But yeah, the
Yep.
DALL-E 2, I think, is super useful in the AI world. But even old Elon has said the AI is probably our biggest danger, like biggest fear, like or most close, not to quote a movie, close and present danger.
We're close to it.
Clear and present, man. We're
We're close to
And
it.
you know
Clear
what?
and present. Clear and
None
present.
of us can afford a dick rocket to get out of here before it happens.
It's true, but he can. He's got several.
He can.
Yeah,
Said several.
And then he can land it when he's done. He can
Just
float down onto a little platform. He doesn't
Right
have
on
anywhere to go, though.
right on the balls.
Is he going to go to his Tesla?
Hashtag
That's
Manscaped.
floating, or is it floating around Mars now? I don't even know where that thing's at.
Oh,
Like,
man,
I wish I
I
had
don't
enough
even know,
money
yeah.
just to fire a $100,000 car. Or, it's probably more. It's probably one of the fancy ones. I don't know. Off into space. That'd be great. Just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Fuck y'all. You look at how much money I have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Here's a
strap this
fancy
fucking-
car.
I'm strapping a Lamborghini to this fucking rocket, and I'm just gonna shoot up
Just
in
gonna
space.
see
What
what
are you doing that
happens.
for, Elon? Is that some new experiment? Yeah, I just want to see what happens to a high dollar sports car.
I want
How's
to
that
see what
make you
happens to
feel?
the tires, but I decided to leave them on the car.
Plebs.
Clubs. Oh my god. Oh man. KD, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
this
we gotta-
has been like an
we gotta have you back
absolute
on.
pleasure. We gotta have you back on. We'll
Definitely,
talk to you.
For
Yeah,
sure.
man, you guys are awesome.
No, thank you. So before we sign off here,
Yes.
where can we find all the things, KD, besides Ghost Devil's Perch on Discovery Plus right now?
Well, like you just said, you can go to Discovery Plus right now. I think you can even get it for like a week or maybe 2 for free. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure if you haven't signed up yet. But
If you haven't done it, you're an idiot. It's
right.
like
I mean,
$5
because there's just a lot of stuff on there.
or $7 for
anyway.
commercial
There's
free.
a lot there.
And I mean, you get a whole week. You can easily binge Ghost of Devil's Perch and then watch all the episodes like in one evening. It was just
See?
one good setting. You sit down with the whole family. It's family friendly.
It is.
know.
It is.
But anyway,
Scare the
Supernatural INK Paranormal.com is going to be the site that can link you up. And then you have the store.supernatural.inc. Yes, I did that right again. Okay,
Yeah,
that's the
nice.
play. That's where we go. That's where you can go to order ghost boxes or whatever kind of equipment that I have out right now. Right now, I think
Maybe
it's
we'll have to
mostly-
do that before we go.
I think we need
Yeah,
to.
and I have a
think
budget.
we need to-
I have a budget-friendly ghost box. You guys be interested in, I'm sure. Just saying, it's not
All right.
We're
probably
we'll
the
be
best
there.
one you can get for the money. So anyway, but
All
so also, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, not on TikTok, and not on Twitter. So there you go.
All right.
That's all. My
I will
places.
say, I will say, so like what you do, okay, for the musicians who listen to us, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So everybody goes, oh, well, you want so and so pedal manipulated by so and so, or so and so
true.
amp
He's a
manipulated
modder.
by
He's a modder.
a modder.
A modder, right?
Somebody's
No,
gonna
yeah, I mod
mod this
things.
deck.
That's what I do.
So
That's what I
go to his site
Yes.
and get a modded ghost box
Mm-hmm.
that's going to work better than your normal SB7
Right.
that you buy off the Amazon.
That's my
Right.
opinion. Just got shortwave,
Just get a shortwave.
Yeah, man.
and you don't need
So
an extra
instead of like a-
speaker. It's all built right in. It's got
This guy.
auxiliary in, auxiliary out.
I like it.
This guy gets it.
Just do it.
And
He gets it. So go visit it. Go hang out. KD, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. This
Yeah,
has
man.
been
Thank
really,
you
really
guys.
fucking
No.
cool.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
It's been my pleasure.
I know it's been a long time, but we did ask a question at the very beginning of this episode.
We talked about a question.
Like a lot of questions.
We talked about a question that was the most important question that people should ask themselves every day, that everyone at home should ask yourself every day. For KDs, it's Fallout. It's video
Fallout.
games. It's that thing. What is that thing that makes the thing you do in life a little bit easier to deal with? What is
a little more tolerable.
What is it that makes your life a little bit nicer? What makes your food a little bit sweeter? What
is it for
could
you
be
guys?
could be a topping, a side, or a main course?
What's your
It's
main
this.
course, guys?
It's this right
dude,
here.
Honestly, it's been this.
Like meeting
That's why I was
awesome
setting you
people
up,
like
man. I
you.
was setting you up. You guys are supposed to go.
It's been this, dude.
It's
like
the
it honestly has.
bacon.
Well, this is our bacon, man. This is our bacon. Ever since we're both in bands, we're both musicians, and getting the chance to do this on the side and getting to hang out and have conversations with people like you and learn something and have a cool conversation about things that we know about together that we both like, and then things that we don't know that you're able to educate us on has been awesome. This has been the coolest thing. So yeah,
man. I
bacon
had a
is
good
my
time.
podcast, is our bacon.
Mhm.
Fallout is your bacon. And everyone at
Yes.
home, ask yourself every day, what should they ask themselves, Katie?
What's my bacon?
What's your bacon?
Yes.
Did I get it?
You got it.
Oh, you so got it, dude.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Welcome back. Where can they find you?
At me, my own self, Mike, on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Also, you can check my band out at Something Heavy Music. Check out the new single, Learning, out now. At Something Heavy Music on all those same socials. You can also check out Bacon as My Passion.
Yes.
Which is our thing.
The conglomerate.
Jimmy and I, where we do music and the things at
BaconsMyPodcast.com.
well,
And then on all the Spotify.
on all the Spotify and things.
Yes.
At Bacon is My Passion, but then you can also catch us on at baconismypodcast.com.
Yes, indeed.
At Bacon is My Pod. Stay in the conversation.
Hashtag, what's your bacon? Hashtag
Bacon is My Pod.
Hashtag Bacon is My Podcast.
Indeed.
Any of those work. You can find me, Jimmy G's Shoes, on all the socials. My band, Craving Strange, at cravingstrange.net, where you can find all of our stuff. I know it feels like we're speeding through this stuff,
Yes.
but we recognize we took up a lot of you guys' time today.
Once again, thank you to our sponsors at drinkwildbills.com, grillyourassoff.com, and
Poddex.com. Take 10% off of any of your orders by using the promo code BACON.
because everything's better with bacon.
Shave your beans with stuff from Manscaped, or put on their sweet underpants, or spray yourself down with their sweet cologne, or use some of the crop mops to wipe off your bits and kibbles, all that kind of good stuff.
If you see us, I will give you
Yeah, I'll have them too.
I will give you a crop mop.
Yep. I also would give you a crop mop. Man
or woman?
I will hand you something to wipe off your kibbles and bits with. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. I said a dog food, and I made it sound like it was your genitalia. Because that's what we do here
That's
on
what we
Bacon is
do
My
here,
Podcast.
guys.
Thank you guys so
All
much
right.
for hanging out. BIMP Squad over on patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast for longer episodes, extra episodes, commercial-free episodes.
This
and
episode
extra
will
content.
be exponentially longer.
If you
on
don't
the
believe that.
Patreon.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking yourself every single day.
What's your bacon?
World peace.